Hey, it's me. So this game is called Feed the Scorchpot. Now, it's people compare, these types of games to like Balatro and blah blah blah. I'm not gonna do all that. I'm just gonna explain the game as it goes. So, the goal of the game is to feed the dragon. This number here. To do that, you use these values here. You generate resources based on the tiles here. They will end up over here on the right. You then cook some stuff, and then you will combine your fodder, multiply that by your flavor, multiply all of that by your essence, multiply all of that by your prosperity, and you get your total value. You have buildings, like farmsteads, you need to have next to tiles in order to get resources from them. Now these numbers here and then the dice, it'll make sense in a second. I'll have to show you. I can't explain it too well. So, I like to start with recipes, because recipes are a great way to win early. Well, succeed in the years early. So when you have a mark of 3 active, the recipe adds 12 flavor. That's huge. Now what does it mean to have a mark of 3? I'll explain in a second. First thing you need to do is put down some of these. Now mark of 3 means I need this value here, 3. Now this works well for me because I could put farmstead here. I could put a farmstead here. Okay. Now over here on the right, it just popped up saying extra season. You might not have seen it, it was quick. When you have these, when you add these number of buildings onto the field here, you get an extra bonus. So if I build 3 more farmsteads, I get an extra season. Now what does that mean? You'll see in a second. 2 more trade posts, I get an extra recipe slot when I cook. 2 more docks, I get an extra dice slot here to roll. So I could roll 4 dice. And then 2 more shrines, I get an extra dice roll. So I go from having 4 total dice rolls to 5. Alright, well, I need to activate a mark of 3. Now to do that, alright, I need to combine a 1 plus a 2. That's what that means, to get a mark of 3. I did not get it, so we're going to have to just go without it. The marks here are the sum of 2 dice. So when I roll these dice, I combined a 1 plus a 5. I combined a 1 plus the other 5, and I combined the 2 5s. That's how I got the 10s and the 6s, as you can see. Now what I need is a 2 and a 1, which I got. So now I activated a mark of 3, which means this recipe is now active. And I'll throw in the 5. No, it doesn't do anything. I'll throw in a 4 to get an extra little bit from that. Okay. Now the recipe says while the mark of 3 is active, it adds 12 flavor. Then it says now 12 flavor. That means it's active. So because I activate the mark of 3 here, you can see since I have a 1 plus a 2, I can now cook with this recipe. Now I add 13 flavor here. I multiply my fodder by my flavor, which is how I got 1300. So very nice to see. Okay. Every year you get income based on your buildings and some other stuff. I have 6 coins. I have 2 more building slots I can use up here out of 4 total. I can only buy a farmstead, so I'm going to put this connected up here. That might seem kind of odd, but farmsteads touching the ocean always add in fish. So it's not a bad thing to have a farmstead on the ocean. Not great for other reasons, but it's fine. I will take a 6 because now I can activate this 8 over here and add some extra stuff from that. So as you can see, I added 10 fish. That always happens. As long as you have a farmstead touching the ocean, you always get fish. Now this is active because I have a mark of 3. So now I get 12 extra flavor. And boom, it's more than enough to get me there. Early on like this, as long as you have a good recipe and you hit the recipe, you can get through the first like 5 years without much issue. Okay, 7 coins. I need so merchant post is very good as well, especially early. It adds coins every year and For each touching farmstead, it adds flavor. I'm going to buy one of those. I'm going to put it here. And now I'm going to roll. Hoping for a 1 and a 2. I got the 2. So now I have mark of 3 active. Got a lot of grain, which is fine. Multiply everything by 13 plus an extra 4 flavor because I have 2 touching farmsteads to the merchant post, and boom. Crazy big numbers. It's not that crazy big, but pretty good early. Alright, shop again. Actually, I don't want to spread myself out too thin. But what I want to do... I see I'm spreading myself way too thin. I will buy the dock. I won't use it. Because I don't need to, and I want to get another merchant post here. So I can get an extra recipe slot. Having another recipe slot means I can cook with 2 recipes instead of just 1, which is obviously very big. 1 plus a 2, and I'll take a 5 because it's whatever. That's more than enough to get me where I need to be. Boom. Over 2k. I mean, just under 2k actually, but same thing. Ooh, so the dragon does some different things, as you can see up here on the year thing. The dragon will every like what 5 years he'll do some weird shit. This one, stubbornness, he locks the dice to a certain value. In this case, I got lucky with him adding or locking to a 1. Now what I need is a merchant post. I don't want to roll too many times, which is nice because I only had to roll once. Now I can have a second flavor, second recipe. I have to put it down first. Let me make sure I do that before I forget. I'm going to put it here. Just now I get to add 2 more flavor in. Boom. And 4 extra coins every year. Alright, now I can have 2 recipes. So I'm going to sell that item that I started with to get 2 extra coins. Now I can buy a recipe. I'm not dealing with all that stuff. Instead, I'm gonna go with ketchup. If I have a mark of 10 active, I get 10 more flavor. Now that's obviously not as good as 12 flavor. And there's really no way to have a mark of 10 and a mark of 3 active at the same time. Math doesn't work out, but once I get another dice slot, which will happen when I get 1 more building limit, then I'll be fine. This should carry me though for this year, so it's not a problem. Yeah, over 3k. And then I get 1 extra building limit here. Alright, so now I'm hoping for a dock. Buildings can be upgraded from tier 1 up to tier 3. So this is a tier 2 ranch. I don't care for it though, not right now at least. What I could do is buy a tape measure, which lets me copy any building. So what I'm going to do is plop down a dock next to... So the dock gives certain bonuses based on what tiles are adjacent to it. So in this case, an herb bed is my favorite because I get 2 flavor. Then a grove will add extra essence, which is just a multiplicative. Or an allotment is the other one I go for, which gives prosperity growth, which is very minor. Goes from being a 0.01 increase per season to a 0.011 increase. Very minor, but better than nothing. Which is what I'll go with. Now I can use a tape measure on it. And I can get a second one, which I can plop down right there, and now I get an extra dice slot. So now I can have 4 die, which means I need to save up some coinage to get that. What I could do... I was thinking, well, I could buy another recipe, one I could actually use, but... that would actually be very good. It's not as good. Alright, so I'm just going to save my coins. Give me a 2, give me a 1, thank you. 3 would be good, thank you. And And now I will use cheese spread to get 12 extra. This should be more than enough to get me to the hunger requirement to feed the dragon. Okay, so next, I don't think I'll have enough coins to buy. I did get enough coins. So an odd dice means I get a 1, 3, or 5 every roll. I will take it because I do need the ones. I don't have enough coins to buy anything else, so that's fine. Now what I don't like is how I got 1s on the normal die, because I still want to try to get the mark of 10, which works best with a 6 and a 4 or 2 5s. A 6 and a 4 would generally be the best. But actually what I can do is this. I do need the 2. Maybe I get a 5. I did not get lucky enough, but it's fine because I still get flavor from that one. Not from that one though. But this will get me close, but it won't get me all the way. No. Alright. Instead, I'll go with 2 5s. Because that puts me on the mark of 10. 2, maybe I can get a 1. Damn, I got lucky. Now I can cook with 2 recipes. Because I had the trade posts. And that's more than enough to get me there. Now the dragon scales up pretty quickly. But I also get some extra stuff. So the tools are very nice because they're extra just kind of bonuses that affect either buildings or recipes or tiles. So a hoe adds a random mark, which is very nice. A quill upgrades a random recipe. Now, from all my testing, this always upgrades the recipe on the left. I'm gonna try it again. Alright, well, immediately. I'm telling you, 12 out of 12 times I've used the quill, it's upgraded the one on the left. I know that because I paid attention. Every single time I've used it, it's upgraded the one on the left. But the one time I say it like this, it did not work. So I guess it is truly random. And I just had crazy luck. Something like that, whatever. Yeah, another mark. So now this has a mark of 6, which isn't crazy, but it's fine. Alright, I need a 1, 2 5s, and now I can get a 2. It's fine. I can still activate the ketchup. So upgrading a recipe from level 1 to level 2 doubles its effect. Upgrading from 2 to 3 triples the original effect. And thankfully I can use this because I need... So the starter recipes are cheaper to activate, as it says there. It's free to activate at level 1. At level 2 requires 5 of a resource, so in this case 5 fruits. Which isn't crazy, but if you don't have anything that can add fruits in, then it's kind of a waste. But I do. Okay, 1, 2 5s, I get a 2, thank you. And that's more than enough to get me both. Nice. Yes, the fruits come from the groves, which is a 10. Which is fine. Alright, so next I have some coins to spend. I could go with a tier 2 upgrade. That's for veggies, which I could use here. It would be best if I use that here. But I'm thinking to myself, well, what if I got this recipe instead? Because I already need a 1 to get the mark of 3 active, and if I have a 1, I get to also use this. As long as I can activate the cheese spread, I can also activate the Eintopf. Which, while not as good necessarily, it's much easier, I think, to get that combination. And 200 fodder, it's great when, you know, you combine like what, 20 something flavor times 200 fodder, that's an extra 4k. Anyways, it's a lot of math. I'm tired. I'm not doing all that math. Instead, I'm going to 2. Save my coins. Yeah. No. I'm going to buy Scepter. So Scepter progresses the seasons by 1, but it gives you your yearly income at the cost of 1 season. Now I'm going to reroll. So Mason's Mooring is pretty good. It's just a straight up upgrade over the level 1 harbor. This is what I will purchase. Now you upgrade a tier 1 into tier 2. Boom. Upgrading to tier 2 or to tier 3 doesn't increase your, it doesn't change your building limit. Doesn't, you can gain building limit, like maximum building limit from certain buildings. But upgrading it doesn't take away a building slot or use one up. I need a 1. Need a 2. I'll take a 5. I could use a 4. A 3 is fine as well. And now I can use cheese spread and pine top. Now, as you'll see from this, that'll be what it likes. It doubled my fodder essentially. Left me just shy, but I have another chance. And no matter what I roll, it'll get me there. I actually rolled enough to get there, so it's fine either way. Next year. So, when the dragon has stubbornness, that's where he locks in a dice. So now the die is locked to a 6, which sucks, but since I have 4 die, it's okay. It doesn't screw me too hard. Alright, now what I want is... I want a tavern. Do I even have a trade post? I do. So tavern is kind of just a straight upgrade over the merchant post. So now I get 8 flavor per Jason Farmstead instead of the usual 2. Obviously 4 times the flavor increase is huge, so now I go from having 4 flavor. From this one I get 16 flavor, so very nice to see. Last time to roll for a 1. Hopefully I can get a 2. Got a 2, I got very lucky there. Now the mark of 3 is active. And since I got a 1, I can use that one. Now you're about to see a huge flavor boost. And the fodder boost too. And then boom. Like what, 16k? 17k, very nice. Now to run it back. 2. Excellent stuff, okay. I get there again. Now I have 2 building slots. I think I'll have a 3rd one now. I have 10 in total. Yeah. I need to figure out what I want to buy though. So I can buy another merchant post, but the thing is that doesn't really do much. What I can do though is buy tape measure, because it copies a building, and copy the tier 2 merchant post, and I can upgrade this one to tier 2. Instead of costing me 15, cost me 6. Very nice. Now I'm going to re-roll and hope I get a farmstead, which worked out perfectly. So now I can put a farmstead here. So now this thing gives me 24 flavor instead of 16, and this thing went from giving me 2 flavor to 8 flavor. So huge flavor boost. As long as I can get a 1 here. I need another 2 though. 4 doesn't. 4 does a little bit, so I'll take it. Now this is where the scaling really kicks in. Already 10k off of that. Now it's over about 30k. Yeah. I still need to get better farmsteads. Ooh, almost got unlucky, but I got there in the end. I need better buildings. Especially more income. Okay. 16. 2 times in... That's it. That requires a tier 1 shrine, which I do not have at the moment. What I can do is use the multi-tool to get a copy of my last used tool, which means I can get tape measure. And then I'm thinking to myself, well, if I buy another dock, what could I do? I bought a dock and I put the dock here. I can now get 2 extra flavor and 1 extra income. Which isn't huge, but there's other ways to get bonuses from docks. But what I want to do is get another farmstead. There's 1 more farmstead and I get an extra season. So I'll put that down probably here. I have 4 seasons instead of 3. It's very good. I'm not gonna risk that. Oh, I'm getting very unlucky through some of these rolls, but fine in the end. Yeah, I'm thinking this is enough to get me maybe 50k. You see, actually, it depends. Like 40k? Wow, just shy of 40k. That's out the Warhammer 40k. Give me a 1, please. Thank you. 3 is fine. And a 5 is fine. Nice. This is more than enough to get me there. I need fodder. I have a ton of flavor, but I need fodder. To get more fodder, I need farmsteads and upgraded farmsteads. So let me buy farmstead. Well, give me a level 2 farmstead, and then maybe I'll buy a level 1 on top of that. I can buy this, pop that down right there. What does this do? It just doubles the value, so it's just better. I'll put that shit down right there. Alright, give me a 1 and a 2, a 3, and a 5. It's very good to see. Look at that. Huge resource boost. So next thing I want is 2 more docks. Alright, give me a 1. It's actually kind of bad to not get the 1 on the low dice. But a 1, 2, 3, and a 5 is very good to see anyways. That's a huge boost. This might be enough to get me there. I think it's with the same roll that I had before. Oh yeah. Barely enough, but it got there. Alright, 25 coins, 1 slot. I could upgrade a harbor. I could use a hoe and add an extra mark. It depends. I do want a reroll. I don't have any shrines yet. I'm trying to think. Can I sell a recipe? I can. I bet at higher difficulties I can't sell recipes. I'm gonna buy this shrine. I'm gonna buy the tier 2 version of the shrine. Put that shit down right here. I'll upgrade it immediately. 1 more shrine and I can get an extra dice roll. So, a tier 2 shrine like this, a stone circle specifically, gives me adjacent tiles yield 1 additional, or yeah, you have 1 additional time during harvest regardless of marks, so that's extra fodder. And now I can add another mark in, which I'm going to add another mark here. Because I have 3 different buildings touching it that can, you know, add resources from it, so it's good if I can get that to activate off another mark. And then a 6 gets me there on a bunch. A 4 does great stuff too. As you can see, that's a ton of fucking fodder. Cook that shit. Huge flavor boost. Huge fodder boost. Almost 100k. Almost 100k. I need something like that again to get me there. I'm gonna roll again with everything. Try to get this exact type of roll. But I don't like that though, because I'm hoping for a 6 or a 5. Failed to get it. That's fine. Alright, run that back. This might be enough to get me there. Question mark, question mark. Might be enough. Oh, it is. More than enough. Random dice value is scorched. What dice value is that? A 6. Thankfully it's not a 1. A 1 or 2 would have fucked me. Hoping for like a 3. Not get it. Do have coins though. Let me spend some coins on some stuff. Laystone is a tier 3 shrine. That doesn't do anything for me right now though. Another dock would be good. Tape measure is very good. Let me buy tape measure. Shrines are extra. I mean, scepters give the yearly income at the cost of 1 season, so that's pretty good to just pop down right now. I need to make sure I don't waste any seasons because I will need all my fucking seasons. I can upgrade both of these though, which is huge because it doubles their effects. Okay, and now I can get 1 more building. I could, no, see if I get the... Here's what I need to do actually. If I upgrade, if I copy the large farmstead, I get even more resources, which is huge. So I will use the tape measure here. Pop that shit down right there. 1 more dock gets me pretty well established, but where would this be best set? On a grove and an allotment, which is here. Okay, roll that. And then now cook with, oh fuck, what do I need? 5 milk? I don't have anything on, I do have something on milk, but it requires a mark of 9, which is bad. What does this get me, like 60k? No, 100k. Shit, so I need a 1, a 2, and a 4 and a 2. That's exactly what I need actually. It's a perfect roll, because now I can activate both these. And this gets me more than enough. Yeah, it's easily more than enough. Okay. Oof. What did that little bit? Now I can get another tape measure. I can get a quill, which upgrades a recipe. Now this one's level 3. Requires 10 milk. Now what I need to do next is get a dock. Maybe not at this exact moment, but I did get one. So now I can use this tape measure on something else. I might use it on another large farmstead. But do I need to? The answer is no. I'm gonna wait. A 1 and a 2. 6 and a 3. Actually, that's perfect as well. I can use both of these. And it's way more fodder and flavor than I need. This is like, what, 200k? Yeah. I have to get lucky on some of these rolls, but... and how the game goes anyways. Not great. Since I didn't get any dairy. But it's still a good amount. Yeah. 1 and a 2. 5 and maybe a 4? No, it's fine though. It gets me more than enough. Now what I need to do is get a hoe. I can put a hoe down on the meadows and hopefully get another mark that I can use instead of it being a 9 mark. Or an 11 mark. Okay. None of that does what I want it to do. I could put down a dock. Put that dock down right here. Or I can put it down here actually. Because now I get allotments and I get essence. No, I get fish. Fish and allotments, which is fine. Now I get an extra dice slot for 5 total dice. I get a gold die, which means I get ducats equal 10 times my prosperity during harvest, which is very nice. Okay, I might buy a scepter and pop a scepter. And then now I have the ability to roll again. A garden works with veggie, but we use it here, I think. It would be best if I actually put something here, like a farmstead there with that upgrade, but I'm not going to. Instead I'm just going to save my stuff for now. I need a 1, I need a 2. A 4 on that's very nice. It activates its effect. I get extra coinage. I did not get any dairy activations. But that should be okay because I've got a lot of fodder. Oh yeah, it's pretty good. Now I could buy a chisel. Buy a staff. Staff doesn't really do anything that I care about right now. Actually, this might be better than the beast bread. If I can't get any... There we go, I need a dark shrine. Okay, so some buildings, some upgrades increase the building limit. But once you do that, you cannot increase that building to tier 3. That's why it says cannot be sold or upgraded. It's locked in. Still good though, I use that quite often. Alright, I could go with a 4 and a 5. No, go with this 5. Take a 1, I'm hoping for a 2. I got there. Okay, sweet, so now I can use both of these. Now one more shrine, which is exactly what I need. I need another shrine. I need another building slot, and then I need a shrine. Damn, I'm just shy. 4 and a 5. No, get rid of that 1. Give me that 2. It sucks. But this is enough to get me there anyways, so it's fine. Yeah, I can't activate any of those, but I can still activate this. So that's more than enough to get me there. I only need 6k. Well, 5.28 through 7k. Alright, So now I get an extra building slot. But I need a lot of good stuff in the shop. I need a shrine. I got there. Now I can put this down. Put this down here. I get one more dice roll in total, which is very nice. Now I can upgrade this, so now I get one extra building limit. I kind of fucked it a little bit, to be honest. But actually I can make this work. I can buy a hoe. Add a mark to this. Mark of 2 is not very good. Okay, then buy multi-tool. Add another mark. Mark of 8 is not good, but what else could I do? Now I'm hoping. Take the 2. Take the 4, take the 1. Take a 5. Take a 4 actually as well. Now that gives me extra coins, which I do want to hopefully spend before the end of the year. I'm wondering if I go with both of these instead of the extra fodder. How many, what does extra, like 25 flavor do for me? As opposed to 200 fodder. I feel like that was pretty good. Alright, but that's enough coins to get me a dark shrine. But I actually want to get a tape measure. No, I wanted to buy a dark shrine. It's more expensive, but I have a reason for that. We wanted a 2 and keep rolling. I got unlucky, but that's how it goes. I'm going to get crazy with it. I'm going to skip cooking anything because I'm hoping I can roll again and get the gold face to hit. Perfect. I don't actually want, I mean, it'll be enough to get me there no matter what I do, so I can buy it right now, so I can buy the tape measure. Perfect. I forgot I can buy from the shop at any time. Alright, and then now just hit that shit, whatever, it doesn't matter. Alright, next. What can I buy? A lot of good shit here, holy crap. So this one gives me a free building limit. I mean, not free, so I'm spending 15 gold to purchase it. Now I have 17 building slots. So what I can do, buy the shrine, pop that shit down here, copy the shrine again, use that, put down a shrine here, copy the dark shrine. I have 2 extra building slots, now I can buy a scepter, reroll this once, buy merchant post. The merchant post down here. No. Yeah. No, here. And then now buy the multi-tool, use it real quick so I have an extra tape measure. Now use the scepter so I get more coins. Buy multi-tool. Use might seem kind of strange. Upgrade this. Then hoping for a normal ass farmstead, which is perfect because I can pop that shit down here, get extra flavor from it, and then I could use this to get a tape measure, like the freehold manor there. Then I could use another multi-tool to go with, I'm gonna think, what else do I want? Actually, one more shrine would be very good. I don't have any normal ass shrines. Any tier 1s. I could get one now. I may be wondering, hey, why are you doing that? The answer is because now I get an extra dice roll. I can tape measure on it. Another free dark shrine. Okay, now I have 6 dice rolls available. I need the 2. I need the, I need the 1, but that doesn't do it for me. 3 is good though. 4 is fine. I did not get the 6 or the whatever I was hoping for. E4? Yeah, I was hoping for the 4. Also didn't get any of the dairy marks, which sucks. Guess me what, 300k? 360k. 1, 2, 3, a 4. I did not get the other 4, the gold dice, but I can't use any of these. So 36 flavor, I need 400 fodder. I'm gonna multiply by a lot. Ooh, close. Okay, keep going. Take that 4 every time. I'm gonna get a 1 and a 2. Not get the 2, but this should be more than enough anyways. 400 fodder, 25 flavor. That's good stuff. Okay, what I'm hoping for next is 2 more merchant buildings so I can add in 3 recipes total. What are you doing? You're scorching what? Prosperity. Kinda sucks a little bit. Not too much, but just a little bit. I do want to save a farmstead. This butcher's bait, that's meat tiles. I don't care about meat tiles. I want a tape measure though. I do also want to get a paintbrush. I do want a farmstead. Those don't do anything. I need a farmstead on the ocean for that. That's really good. Chance to upgrade a recipe. Go for that. Need any of those. Do want a merchant post though. So I can put the merchant post here. But I do still want to put a farmstead like right there to get bonuses from all of these. But I miss on the recipe use. But I don't have, actually, as long as I put down another merchant post, I get there. Which I can put here. So I get an extra recipe slot, so I can use 3 recipes every time. Okay, give me the 4. Give me the 2, give me the 3. Let me get a 1. And give me like a 6, that's good. That's huge stuff. I got a plan here. You might be wondering what the paintbrush is for. The paintbrush adds a color to any side, or whatever side is rolled at the moment. I'm gonna try something. That was not enough to get me there, but I did get some coins out of it, so I can make use of my coins. None of that does anything for me. I have to just kind of brute force this. Check it. If I do this, it now adds the extra gold to that face in particular, which is very cool. Okay, get rid of that 1. Let me get a 2, 3. Let me get a 1. Let me get a 1. Thank you. That's fine. Now I can activate all 3 of these. Might not be enough to get me there. I mean, I know it won't be enough to get me all the way. Especially since I don't have prosperity active. Pepperport. It doesn't do what I want. Butcher's Bay doesn't do it. It's for a shrine. I don't have any level 1 shrines, do I? No. Roll again. No. 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 Kinda fucked, aren't I? Kinda fucked, I think. 1 and a 2. 3 or 5. Other one doesn't do much, but I have a choice to accept it or not. I don't think. Ooh, 500,000? I don't know if I can do that. Upgrade, maybe I can upgrade a harbor. I know I can upgrade a harbor. The question is this gonna help me enough? Alright, I can still buy chisels to get me where I need to be. Gives me a 1, that gives me a 3. I need a 2. Fuck, I need to get rid of this 4. I'll take the 5. I'm gonna keep this 1 so I can buy a fine chisel and upgrade that 1 to a 2. And it fucks me a little bit, but in general, but this adds a good number of marks. I'm gonna go for it. Before I cook though, see if I can re-roll this to buy. Fuck. Sell something. What could I sell? I would need 5. I would need 5 extra coins if I sold this. What could I do to get 5 coins that won't fuck me? Can't sell you. I want to sell the tavern, that's gonna really fuck me. The dock only sells for 2. I could sell the stone circle. Now I can buy this recipe upgrade. This is about the best shot I have, I think. Might as well put this down here for now. Can't do anything right now, but Fuck. I don't know if this is gonna be enough. I don't want to just reroll endlessly. I have to just hope and pray. This gets me 430k. No shot. Oh, that's so close. It's alright though. That's how this game goes. I think it's pretty tough, but it's pretty fun. Kind of addicting. Well. Do I want to go again? That's already 50 minutes for this. You know what? If people are interested, I'll keep going. Thanks. See you.